Let's go.
Hello, hello. Steve and I are the hosts of Under the Hat podcast, as you could see by his getup. And so we're here today to bring you guys Blunder Busters. So welcome to EduProtocols 7 on today, November 15th. I can't believe it's like in the middle of November already. I don't know about y'all. I was not ready for this.
No one's ready. No one is ready.
And then the slides tell us to like sort of let you know, like, yay, we're here and there's a community. And please, there's a community. And you please go ahead and drop your names, state, and role in the chat. We are going to use your names in the activity, just so you know, FYI. So please, everybody go ahead and type that in there in the chat while Steve and I introduce each other.
Yeah, we will only use first names.
So yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, that is good.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I am unemployed. I don't know what to tell you about that. Sorry, you gotta laugh. I used to be a middle school math, science, and technology teacher, and then I became a district-wide technology coach, and then I went to work for CAMI, and they had layoffs, and I was one of them, so here we are. I am passionate about UDL, math education, and that everybody can learn. Steve?
Yeah, I'm a former social studies teacher, also one of the hosts of Under the Hat Pod. Sophie and I met at CAMI, but probably virtually beforehand. We have a hard time remembering. Yeah. But yeah, so I did work at CAMI for about almost 3 years. I am now a coordinator at a college, a Teachers College of San Joaquin in the Northern California area, Central Valley to be more specific. But yeah, we're super pumped to be here and sharing our blunders and busting those. I will have many blunders, as Sophie can vouch for. But yeah, super excited.
Steve and I have a brother-sister relationship, so if you get any sort of like negative vibes, that's what it's coming from.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
No big deal. All right, so today's activity was sort of born out of math anxiety, and we spread it out to mistake anxiety in general, so that your students can feel less afraid to make mistakes. So mistake anxiety is actually an acute fear of failure, error, or imperfection. And all of this research that we have that I did will be in the links in the slides. And I'm trying to find my other tab. There we go. So don't forget to put your name in the chat. Steve is making a thing for our collaborative activity. So just so you guys know that. Super important, super important.
We are, yeah.
Now? Okay. And what it can actually look like might not look like what you think it is. It could actually present in multiple ways if your students have this mistake anxiety, such as avoidance and procrastination and not turning in any work because they're afraid of the judgment, inattention and restlessness, and it can mimic ADHD symptoms because they're going to be having difficulties focusing due to worried thoughts, or they're getting up to go to the bathroom as soon as it's time to start doing things on their own. And then they could even do social withdrawal and group settings and get silent and only showing knowledge one-on-one with you instead of letting like their peers know that they don't know what they're talking about, type of thing. And it's actually, there's a lot of it out there. It's 75% of high school students report feeling negative feelings about school. Almost 80% are saying that they're stressed. And the anxious range increases with age. So almost like 3% of elementary students say that they have like this anxiety. And then it increases to almost 16% of high school students that talk about their mistake anxiety specifically. So if we can reduce any of that negative thoughts and feelings about school, specifically around making mistakes, then we should do that. And some common causes are the high stakes testing, socially prescribed perfectionism, such as those outside pressures. You got to be right or you got to be made fun of. And like the traditional grading that is like one and done, and you either get an A or an F or whatever, and you don't get a chance to like sort of redo or anything. The research suggests creating a psychologically safe environment, helping students create that growth mindset, providing alternative assessments, and helping them build mistake analysis skills, which is exactly an activity that we're going to do today, which is the mistake analysis activity that we're going to do. And that is the boring part of the session. Yay! It's grounded in research.
Yeah. Okay. So what we can do is we're going to start with an activity for you all. So we have this linked up in the slide deck. I'm going to go and click on that. That takes us over into a Kami doc. And I can also share this up in the chat as well. And so what I'll have you do in a bit is when you jump on this doc with us, the first slide, the first page is this question, right? Of where does mistake anxiety come in your classroom, right? And so I'll kind of give you a minute to click on there, and I don't think I have the tools open for you all. So let me go ahead and do that. Boom, boom, boom. And so
wow, that's new.
That is new, Sophie. I actually rolled up on Margie about this because I was like, oh, it's new.
Whoa, that is new.
Yeah. I think it's a lot, but it is definitely new.
It is a lot.
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and jump in here. Most people that if you've never used Kami before, it's not a Kami session whatsoever, but it's just a vehicle right now. You can click on the text box and then click anywhere on the page and then just type your thoughts, right? And so let me see here. I'll go first, like I do, you do. If you think about it, trying to give you that think time. But anxiety for me, when I taught social studies, so I taught world history, GovEcon. The anxiety oftentimes came from students encountering primary sources. So reading stuff that was different. I don't want to say harder, but different, right? And so that's just my little contribution there. Sophie's, I'm not a math person. Previous experiences with other teachers, yes. Like students coming in with kind of what Sophie was talking about, baggage, right? If I can put it in a different way.
Yeah, like because when we teach so differently, when you are informed about this math anxiety, like they are just still stuck in the old way of like, it's going to be one and done. Like, I'm going to fail this test. And then it's not like the other teachers teach differently. So then it's like, we got to retrain them.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's exactly, especially in the math classroom. It's like you've got to tear down their anxiety walls before they start even being open to the idea that they can be successful in math.
Yeah. Writing, especially in the content area. Yes. Writing across the curriculum, which is another session that Sophie and I lean into.
We could do that. And I would even write in the math classroom, and they would be a little less anxious about writing in the math classroom because it wasn't an English classroom. So they would be like, okay, I can write, but then it was harder for them to use the correct math vocabulary. But I even taught science, and I saw the same thing, like writing in science class. They were like, but this isn't English, and they didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially if it was like a live thing and you were trying to have, they were terrified of misspelling words. And even if it's just a whiteboard, real quick flash, their peers can see their boards. And so they're like, I don't want to write the word and flash my whiteboard because my peers will see whether I got it right or wrong if I spelled it wrong.
100%. Yeah. So a lot of good contribution, a lot of good conversation around what this is, but really right now focusing on the problem, right? So Sophie and I are going to model what this could look like, what this protocol could look like, and frankly, it's a mix of various different edu protocols in my view. But what we'll do is, and this is me modeling what I tell my teacher candidates, my pre-service teachers, is I'm modeling a strategy. I'm going to take all the tools away from you just for right now. So that way Sophie and I can model what this looks like. So if you move over from here, I'm going to scroll down, move over into the Blunder Buster template. We're in this document. Sophie and I will provide a different iteration of this, so that way you can have it, download it, do whatever you got to do with it if you decide to use it. But this is Blunder Buster, right? So this is where students intentionally make a mistake, right? So it's one of those things where we really lean into normally, like, got to get it right, got to get it right, got to get it right. And that's how we're learning. But we could kind of flip this on its head and be like, nah, try to intentionally make that mistake with a partner. And then we're going to try to bust each other's blunder, right? So I'm going to we're going to show you what that looks like. But this is where Sophie's going to challenge me, because she is going to give me a blunder that she knows I'm going to struggle with. So Sophie, what are we doing today? So what is our blunder? What is this going to look like?
I'm doing an English and fact situation here, just because it's easy to.
Okay, I get what we're doing here.
Yeah,
so
get it, get it.
This is a good, so this is a big call out to a smart start, right? So if I were modeling this right now, I'm modeling it for you all. Do it in isolation of your standards, of your content. Make it fun the first time, right? And so Steve is a total math lover, right? I had to read that very slowly. I'm going to do one on Sophie. So notice that, and I'm going to highlight this over here. So I like to kind of have visual stuff here. Notice like Sophie is in the green, and then I'm going to be in the yellow. So when you partner this up with students, no, I'm getting that wrong, huh?
It's too wide. Yeah.
Just like that?
Yeah. So I'm yellow, and then I'll be yellow down in the bottom. Yeah.
Like that, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Sophie has whatever her blunder is, right? I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna be like, Sophie hates audiobooks. So again, that smart start, that like just doing it just away from content, right? Sophie hates an audiobook, right?
Hates them.
Hates them.
All right. And then we go, like, I'm going to go down in the row that Steve did his blunder, and I'm going to bust it. So I can do it a few ways, and it's really up to you and how your students want to do it. I can write on the blunder itself. I can recreate the blunder over here in the buster area and then correct it, or I can just correct it. It really is up to you and what's best for you to like sort of show and your students for the show their thinking and showing how to bust it. In math class, you could write all over it and be like, no, I'm going to use my red here and be like, that's not true. Wrong. Sophie loves audiobooks. So then the correct way to do it. In fact, I was listening to one while I was doing my makeup this morning. Sophie loves period. Steve didn't have punctuation, so I'm gonna be like, period.
I'm blundering all over the place. So my response was, what is math? Justin's in the room here, so like maybe he can speak to this too. I taught social studies. I can't do a math.
No, I don't do math.
Justin's not a math dude either.
This is why we are the way we are. Like
I got a job.
And if you had done activities like this in the math classroom, maybe you would think you were a math person.
I don't know.
Usually we actually do a math activity, a math problem where Steve and I solve it completely wrong. It's similar problems, different problems. We solve it wrong, and then we make that correction over on the other side. But we're expanding this now because you really can do it in all subject areas. Whatever you're learning about in social studies in that unit, in that lesson, this could even be like sort of an exit ticket or a we do activity where they're writing something that they learned, but they're making it on purpose wrong so that someone can correct them. And this is set up so that you do this in pairs. So as you guys saw, let me try and mimic these colors. So I'm down, I corrected, wait, where's my box? Box highlighter. Oh, I get it, Alexis, I get it, I really do. Because I am a math person, but it's Steve. He's not gonna stop.
I will say that, no. Alexis, I do agree that, yeah, I did have the wrong teachers. No, for sure. Like I did have the wrong experience, 100%. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm being funny, but it transcends so much.
Yeah, it does. And the language in the hallway transcends to the kids too. They're like, oh, my English teacher, like, can you help me with this problem? No, I'm not a math person. No, you are a math person. You just didn't have the right teacher. And that's exactly what I would tell kids all the time when they were coming to me. I had a student one time, I can remember it like it was yesterday. She was homeschooled. She was coming into public school for the first time in 8th grade, and I was her math teacher, and she was like, well, I struggle and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you just haven't had the right math teacher. And her parents were like, oh, that's amazing. Like, yes, you could be a math teacher, or you could be a math person. Everyone's a math person. All you need is to be a person and then do math. You can be a math person. So the whole idea of blunderbusters, though, is that you're purposefully making mistakes. And what kids are going to learn is that maybe they're actually going to show their real mistakes on here. Or you could even start this. We have AI now. You can make fake mistakes. You don't have to have real student mistake errors or make them up yourselves. We have AI now. So you could put in a prompt the standard you're doing, the materials that you're covering, and have it come up with a bunch of mistakes. And you can even smart start this and like just start it out with a bunch of mistakes already on the file, and then they're just correcting. And what's also really cool about in Kami is that you could do this whole collaboration space all together, so that like we have here, if you scroll down through, you can see that everyone's
I think I unshared someone's screen just real quick. Sorry, John has me fixing something because I just became the host last minute, and yeah, sorry, somebody needs to reshare their screen.
I got it. I thought that's what happened, but I was like, yeah, we are back at it.
Sorry, I'll fix the settings after this. I was just trying to do what John said right away. My bad.
It's all good. No, it's all good.
And then, okay, so you can front load this with mistakes already built in, so they get practice correcting them first before you throw them into doing both. It's really however you want to start this. So what we're actually going to do now, Steve, are you ready to do?
Yes. So we have four. Well, we have a variety of different teams. I already have them labeled. I like to share out a deck like this that already have the teams laid out. So that way, like, you'll be able to see in a bit, like, oh, you're in team 1 or pair 1, right? You're like, oh, here's my deck. Oh, I'm in 2. There's my deck, right? I do have, I believe it's everyone's names. Hopefully, I included everyone. Let me go ahead and boom. Y'all see this, right? Anyone using flippity.net, I don't know. People think it's like, oh, it's old school. I think I still use it. So we're going to group you up really quick. These are everyone that's in the room, I believe. And if there are errors or stuff like that, feel free to sing
Maybe we
out.
zoom in on that.
Yes.
Thank you, love.
Yeah.
So you, the idea here is you're going to go to your page for your team number and you're going to do a blunder. And if you want to, I can even give you like a preface. We're going to do like Disney movies. Okay. So write a statement, a fact, or draw a picture and label it, or whatever it is that you want to do wrong about a Disney movie, any Disney movie. Hopefully your partner has seen it. We're all about that age. Do an older one. Any Disney movie. So yeah, we're gonna share. I'm gonna make sure you guys have the link to make sure you could get in here. We're gonna scroll to your area. So Steve, you turned off all the features for everybody.
Oh, my bad.
But I still kept them. How did you do
that? No, we still, they're on.
Oh, I don't think you actually took them away. But yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, because people are jumping in. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So cool. I could see Christine already on. So you're coming into the Cami doc and you're finding your team. And then their team will tell you what page you're on. That's a great one.
Who's on 5? Who's 5? One about Florida. Just made me chuckle. Different weather.
Perfect. I love it. Fantastic. Team 5's on it. You guys got your blunders already there. So now you're going to switch rows and bust it. Good job, team 3. You got your blunders.
One thing to call out is the inquiry component of this, right? Like they don't have to stay on that slide deck or that page to go develop that blunder or to bust it, right? And that's especially true, like if you're thinking about this across curriculum, across content areas. Monsters is not one of the Disney movies. Monsters, Inc. When I see monsters, I think of Monsters, Inc.
That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Do too.
Who is it? It's the one eyeball guy.
Yeah. Mike Wazowski.
Yes.
I love it. Justin, you're so extra.
Bro, she's a demigod now. He came in like, actually.
And something else that you can do with this is you can actually have conversations about what is a good mistake and what is like to do and what's a bad mistake. You can even talk about the mistakes that are there. And it like, there was something in the research, they were like, you can actually, which one is the better mistake? So like, if you were to pick a mistake, which one would you prefer to like have made? And so like in math, for example, a simple computational error might be viewed as a better mistake than completely doing the process wrong. Like PEMDAS is totally thrown out the window. So, and then compared to saying that 2 + 2 is 3. So like, which one is the better mistake to make, and which one is like high? And it's also like you might be even creating like multiple choice answers here. Like these are like those tricky ones that are like, oh, is this the correct answer or is this not? So you're actually building not just mistake tolerance and mistake analysis, but you're also building some test skills in there that you know they're going to have to take. Analyzing.
100%. In the slide deck, just so everyone knows, I'm dropping the clean copy of this resource. It does look like this. It is a forced copy. So the moment you open it, you'll have your own copy. It's clean. It has the templates that we just used, right? And you can go in and make multiple copies. You can print it out, right? You can do this on paper. You can do this in a different tool. Let's table this for a few moments, but like, I'd be really curious to build this in something like Snorkel, right? Like, what would that look like? Sophie also, I'm not going to take this credit, but Sophie also built out a different iteration of this template that looks a little different, but could be useful in a different context, depending on what you teach. Sophie, do
grade level?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about this one? Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea of the one that we are in is that 2 people are on the same page, and you sort of like blunder and bust at the same time, or in iterations type of thing, right? So when you go to the other one, and you guys are going to get this,
I'm going to drop it right now. It's in the slides, but I'm also dropping it in the chat. Sorry.
Cool. So this one is, when you have littler children who are drawing pictures and their handwriting is big, you need more space than just a quarter of a piece of paper. So I designed this one to have the entire, like basically half of a piece of paper to blunder and bust. There's another version, and I think we might have to go digging somewhere else, where they're all in profile. So you have like it in profile. So then you can you don't have to use technology for this either. You can have them blunder on this one page one that's here, and then you collect them all, and then you just pass them all back out. And they're busting a random person's blunder. So that's what's really nice about this one, where it's one blunder and one bust, because it's easy to sort of just like navigate through and collect and pass out, or each student has a page, and you just sort of like, I don't know about y'all, but my kid Xander, he's number 18 in his 1st grade class. So like everyone has a number. So he's going to go to page 18, and that's where he's going to go and do his blunder. And then depending on the directions of the teacher, he's going to either correct or bust 17 or 19, because they're right next to him, or even a random number that the teacher provides to them, or whatever. But it can be organized digitally. It could be printed out and done physically. You can even do it with manipulatives if you've printed them out and maybe even laminated them so that they're reusable. And then you can, you have them however you want. So that's the reason why I sort of made this one the 2 different versions, because older children can do a lot in a little bit of space, while younger children need more space. Or maybe if you're even going into like a higher math situation, you need more space to work out that problem, even if you're working it out wrong. So yeah, that's
Like if it's like a quadratic formula. I know that term.
Whoa, Steve and the big words.
Yeah. All right, friends. We're coming up on that time. If you do have any questions, feel free to unmute, pop it in the chat. I will drop these slides. I know that they're making all slides and stuff accessible afterwards. Boom. But I'll drop that in the chat now. And the resource slide is slide 6. It has our collab activity. It also has the shared, perhaps like I'm going to call it the clean copy. And it'll give you, it's a forced copy, right? It's Cammy's version of that. And then we have the research by Gemini. I mean, Sophie. I mean, both. I don't know.
I prompted it very well.
If you come to our next session, we'll be talking about prompting. But yeah.
Yes, we will be talking about prompting in our next one. Regina, that's a great question. You can actually, if you hover over anybody else's annotation, which file, Michelle? If you hover over anybody's
the slides.
Annotation, then you can see their initials, and then you can then hover over those initials and see who that person is. And there's a couple other ways that you can see who is doing what on inside of Cami as well. And like basic tools like text boxes and the drawing tool are free. You and your students can log into Cami 100% free. And you can see Steve and I are both on a trial right now. We don't work for them anymore. But yes, it's still a really cool collaborative tool, and I love it a lot, and you can do a lot of cool things there. But yeah, try the slides again. You guys should be able to access it now.
It should be good. Yep.
Dory was Nemo's dad. These are great.
Ariel had a lot of sisters, but I don't think Belle was one of them.
That is correct. Belle was not one of her sisters. They all start with A's. The names.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They sing their names at the beginning of the movie.
That just shows how much I listen to lyrics sometimes. I don't know.
And you even have a daughter, Steve.
She's actually not that into Ariel. She's into K-pop Demon Hunters right now. That is the thing. All day.
I get it. I'm like in the How to Train the Dragon world right now. That is literally the only thing that's happening.
That's actually, I really like that one.
Or there's a new movie on Netflix called Twits. That's on all the time.
Yeah. I'm going to stop a share.
Justin, what are your kids watching?
We watch Star Wars Clone Wars.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You got to get them on Rebels though.
Well, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We watched a bunch of Rebels. We're watching Star Wars Clone Wars for like the second time. I trained them right.
You train them right. Little younglings, Padawans.
And so I really like this strategy. I'm thinking like even with my A-push class, I could put it up on whiteboards and have it like it'd be like a team thing, and they got to stump the other side. So they got to stump each other, and then I give them all markers, and then they run to the other side of the room, and they got to write down as fast as they can and correct the answers. Whoever finishes first, the most correct wins. I can see that being fun.
You could do like you can station rotation that, right?
Oh heck yeah!
Particularly with primary sources and.
Ooh, I like that even more because it's even more student generated, right? So it's a station rotation. Usually I have to set up everything. I wouldn't have to set up a thing on this one. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah. And I think there's a mashup, Justin, between like what you typically do to this. Here, I'm too close there. You do your annotate and tell. I feel like annotating incorrectly, or like, I don't know. I think there's something there with that kind of mashup.
There.
Yeah. I don't know. It's good stuff. Yeah.
That's Gemini to help me brainstorm.
Ask Gemini.
I do that all the time, dude, to help me brainstorm. Like, hey, give me some new ideas I can think about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Very good. Very cool. All right, friends. I think we're...
Any other questions or ideas or spin-offs?
Well, thank you guys so much for presenting and here. That was so good.